All right, today we're diving into something massive. We're talking about a legal transformation in India that is, frankly, epic. The country's entire criminal justice system has been rewritten, dragging it headfirst into the 21st century.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if the entire rulebook for how crime is investigated, prosecuted, and judged just changed? Overnight. Well, for over 1 billion people in India, that's not a what if, it's a reality. So the big question is, what exactly is different?
Okay, so before we can really dig into all the new stuff, we need to quickly get on the same page about the basic anatomy of a criminal case. It really boils down to 3 core stages: investigation, inquest, and trial.
First up, you have the investigation. This is the starting block. It's all about gathering evidence, and it's led by the police. They're on the ground, collecting facts, statements, you name it. Now, the key phrase to notice here is non-judicial proceeding. That's super important. It means at this stage, the police are just fact-finders. They're not making any legal judgments.
After that, we move to the inquiry. This is where the judiciary, a magistrate or a court, steps into the picture. They take all the evidence the police gathered and basically act as a filter. They're asking one simple question: is there actually enough here to justify a full-blown trial? It's a really crucial checkpoint in the system.
And that brings us to the final stage, the one we all recognize from the movies, the trial. This is the main event. It's the formal courtroom process where both sides present their case and a final decision is made. And it can only end in one of 2 ways, either conviction or acquittal. That's it.
This table really breaks it down nicely. You can see that clear handoff from the police during the investigation to the courts for the inquiry and trial. The judicial proceeding column tells the whole story. It starts with no and then flips to yes. So, the big takeaway is that just because a crime is investigated, it doesn't automatically mean it's going to trial.
Okay, basics covered. Now for the main event. Effective July 1st, 2024, India has hit the reset button, replacing its old colonial-era criminal laws with a brand new legal framework. And let me tell you, this is a once-in-a-generation kind of change.
Just look at this. We're talking about laws from as far back as 1860 being completely replaced. The old Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, the Evidence Act, they're all gone. In their place, we have 3 new Sanhitas, which are basically codes. This isn't just a fresh coat of paint. It's a fundamental rewiring of the entire system.
So, if you had to boil this whole revolution down to 2 words, what would they be? Technology and timelines. The new laws are built from the ground up to be digital, and they're laser-focused on strict deadlines. The goal? To make justice faster, more scientific, and way more transparent.
So what does this look like in practice? Let's walk through it. It all kicks off with an electronic complaint, an EFIR. Then, the investigation itself is video recorded. The inquiry? It relies on digital evidence. The trial is put on a clock, and even the final judgment is digitized and made accessible. You can see how technology is woven into every single step.
And it's not just about the tech, it's about speed. For the first time, there are hard deadlines. A preliminary inquiry can't take more than 14 days. An investigation into a sexual offense? 2 months, max. And the trial itself has to be wrapped up within 2 years. This is a direct attack on the endless delays that used to plague the system.
And the changes don't stop there. There are some other huge practical shifts. You can file a police report from your computer at any police station. For serious crimes, getting forensic experts to the scene is no longer optional, it's mandatory. You can even join court proceedings over video. And in a really big move, victims now have a legal right to be kept informed about their case every step of the way.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the tech, the timelines, the new procedures, what's the big picture? Well, the ambition here is to build a justice system that is fundamentally faster, fairer, and a whole lot more transparent for every single person involved.
This before and after chart really says it all. What used to be a paper-based system with no real deadlines is now digital and time-bound across the board. From the very first step of filing a report to the final trial, nearly everything has been modernized and put on the clock.
So, to sum it all up, the key takeaways from this massive reform really boil down to 5 main pillars. 1. Justice is now tech-enabled. 2. It's time-bound. 3. It's more focused on empowering victims. 4. It relies heavily on scientific forensics. And 5. It aims for total transparency. That's the blueprint for India's new era of criminal justice.
So the revolution on paper is undeniable. The intent to create a modern, efficient justice system is crystal clear. But the real test, the one that truly matters, is just beginning. How will this all translate from the law books to the real world? Will justice on the ground actually feel different for the average person? That's the billion-person question.